The story starts here, in the heart of the city.
We continue to follow the ongoing developments.
The student group is the first to take on such a project.
Everyone is waiting for a vote on the bill.
The team is winning at a record-breaking pace.
It's an issue for residents here and around Boston.
The story is coming up on Suffolk U News.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Suffolk U News, the weekly news program brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism at Suffolk University. I'm Jared Pelletier from Nashua, New Hampshire.
And I'm Tiffany Chan from Jacksonville, Florida. We're happy to be coming to you from our studio in downtown Boston, courtesy of your cable company and the internet. We lead to our first newscast of the year with an issue that has been affecting the country since last December. The topic of gun control has been on the forefront of everyone's mind since the Newtown, Connecticut school shooting. It is still a leading debate on Capitol Hill, Beacon Hill, and on top of the hill of football. Here in Boston, Mayor Menino is gearing up with New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, along with hundreds of mayors throughout the country, to create a coalition. The first ad for the alliance aired during the Super Bowl, which was seen by more than 108 million viewers.
Add your voice.
Go to mayorsagainstillegalguns.org.
It's a patriotic thing to do.
You can make a giant difference in our country.
The mayor's main goals are to protect the Second Amendment rights while also fighting illegal gun possession.
Along with leading mayors in the country, other leaders are taking a stand against gun control, including university presidents. Emerson College President Lee Pelton remembers when President Obama called on him and hundreds of other leaders to ask for their assistance with safer gun laws.
I, along with several hundred of my college and university presidents, heeded that call to engage our communities and public communities as well.
Night, Pelton hosted a discussion panel at Emerson to talk about the issues that surround gun violence. He is also the founder of the College President's Gun Violence Resource Center. Pelton's goal is for colleges and universities to engage in an ongoing discussion about gun violence.
Boston city officials are also weighing in on the gun control debate with new legislation.
The Patrick Murray administration is proposing a bill to increase background checks, reduce high-powered rounds of ammunition, and create 4 new assault crimes.
Suffolk U News reporter Heidi Walsh is with us in the studio to tell us how this legislation could keep us safe.
Thank you, Jared and Tiffany. Bay Staters are packing heat and licenses are skyrocketing. Politicians are trying to keep permits under control and increase the safety of all, especially those on college campuses.
You know, everybody thinks Massachusetts is a very tough state to get your permit in, and it's really not. One more time. Good.
Another lesson loads up at the Firearms Safety Academy. Residents here are training up after a new state proposal for stricter gun laws. Safety instructor Paul Ferrazzani says there's already too many to monitor.
There are 100 million gun owners in this country. That's a lot of people. That's a third of the population. And one guy blows his lid. It happens. It's going to happen.
And it's not the students in this classroom who are most likely to create tragedy.
For most crime-prone years, regardless of whether you're male or female or the color of your skin, is between 14 and 25. That's when you are most likely to commit any sort of violence or delinquency acts.
If the bill passes, campus police can make arrests without warrants, but Suffolk University Police Chief James Ferrier says physical security isn't the greatest issue.
We will provide the level of security the community demands. We cannot prevent all crimes all the time in an open society.
And to limit those freedoms with added security may cause more alarm than comfort.
And that gets people scared. Then all of a sudden, wow, it could happen in my own backyard, and hearing other reports. And that's just not how we want to live. Do we want to live in a culture of fear?
Although college campuses are currently viewed as high-risk areas for shootings, a support system of teachers, counselors, and fellow classmates keep these tragedies statistically rare. So, Jared, while legislation wants to give our campus police more power over arrest, the training and the situational ways that they handle it are still very much the same.
I see. Thank you very much, Heidi. There are many different questions and issues and opinions that still surround the topic of gun control. President Obama outlined a new proposal for laws in late January and is trying to gain support in order to make some changes.
Governor Deval Patrick wants the MBTA to extend its hours. The MBTA and the Massachusetts Department of Transportation are considering the governor's request to extend T hours to 2 a.m. on weekends. The T currently finishes service by 1 a.m. Late night riding could be good news for local college students who seem optimistic about the T's possible extension in hours.
There's always college students walking around. Everyone knows they go out and they drink and stuff. And 12 is really early because Boston has such like a big nightlife that it's not like a small town. People are still out. It's not that odd to be out at 12.
I live in Fenway, so I mean, definitely like if you're living off campus, it'd be definitely helpful.
The way they have it set up right now, where it doesn't even go that long, just like asking for DUIs and things like that, you know, you're bound to have more when the T's not running. So I think, you know, running to 2 o'clock is a step in the right direction.
It is not clear yet what the cost of extending the hours will be. The T may be looking to extend its hours, but they're also ready to vamp up security. An additional 400 new cameras will be installed at 6 different Red Line locations. The first stop completed at JFK UMass includes more than 50 cameras alone. The T announced these installations last month after a UMass Boston student was assaulted at the station's entrance. Installations are expected to be completed by the end of the year.
Suffolk University is welcoming a new chief officer to the Human Resources Department this week. Catherine Whiddon has over 20 years of experience in the HR field, both in America and Ireland. Her biggest objective is to maintain HR policies that line up with Suffolk's goals. She's eager to join the HR team, and we would like to welcome Ms. Whiddon and wish her good luck. February is Black History Month, which calls for celebration but also reflection on the struggle faced by Black Americans.
Suffolk U News reporter Ryan Breslin is live in the studio to tell us more about how this month is being celebrated at this university. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Jared. How you doing?
Good.
Well, Black History Month began almost 90 years ago as just a week and has developed into a month-long celebration. Many people recall famous contributors to Black history, such as Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Rosa Parks when talking about the month. Here at Suffolk, the Black Student Union puts on events the whole month of February, including an opening ceremony that was co-sponsored with Diversity Services. The ceremony was held Tuesday with a presentation called Who's Black History? Guest speaker Dr. Joyce McNichols discussed how the telling of Black history can represent a one-dimensional view of African Americans and Black history. A social justice and diversity educator, McNichols spoke about critical aspects of some Black history makers' identities, such as sexual orientation, disabilities, and gender, which have been ignored or minimized when discussing their contributions.
We need to be able to hear the whole story about Black history, which we haven't always gotten, and we need to be able to recognize that Black people, like all people, come in different expressions. We express our identities differently.
McNichols also encouraged the audience to think about their different identities and decide which should be acknowledged when others talk about their achievements. The Suffolk Student Government Association President Samienta Pierreville is also enthusiastic about Black History Month as a Haitian American woman. This month reminds her that holding her position has nothing to do with race.
I'm representing the whole student body. I can connect whether you're white, Chinese, Black, Hispanic, I can connect with you. So it shows that being African American, it's okay. You can run for a position and still get that position and still represent everyone and not just focus on your race.
Pierreville says she is Suffolk's first Black female SGA president. All of the Black Student Union events at Suffolk are free. Some events include dance workshops provided by the STEP team and hip hop team, a soul food luncheon, an African head wrapping workshop, and a black and white affair at the end of the month. For the Suffolk BSU president Geraldine Batista, the month hits close to home.
It does trace back to me feeling like I do belong, and I think just the importance of how we've changed as a country as a whole, like starting off with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of that stuff. Like, there's been so much that's happened and we've evolved and there's so much unity now.
Besides the events at Suffolk, the city of Boston offers ideas to celebrate Black History Month. Well, Jared and Tiffany, one historic site they mention is the Museum of African American History on Joy Street.
And that's the museum right on Beacon Hill by Suffolk's campus, right?
It is, Tiffany, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for the recommendation, Ryan.
Thank you. Another opportunity for Boston residents to learn more about Black History Month is to go on the Black Heritage Trail walking tour offered by the National Park Service.
If you're thinking about applying for law school anytime soon, think again. The New York Times reports that the number of law school applicants is at an all-time low with a 24% drop in the last 3 years. There are also fewer than 50,000 jobs today than there were 5 years ago, and student debt is on a steady rise. For students who are still interested in law school, there may be hope. Suffolk University is planning on adjusting its undergraduate pre-law program to better benefit students in this competitive job market.
New England's harsh winter months are made up of long nights and short days. That leads to the winter blues, which can be more serious than you think. 20% of people who live in cold climates show symptoms of seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, every winter. We asked New Englanders how they cope with the winter blues.
Hot cocoa gets the job done, but for the most part I just try to stay warm.
Wear fleece to warm up, crank up the heat to 70.
A good book, I think, is good, and a cup of tea, definitely. Hot chocolate.
Symptoms of SAD include sluggish behavior, hopelessness, social withdrawal, weight gain, unhappiness, and irritability. Doctors recommend avoiding seasonal affective disorder by eating healthy, exercising, and getting exposure to sunlight when you can.
4 Massachusetts towns have voted to ban marijuana dispensaries. The first dispensaries may not open for another year, but patients can obtain a letter from their doctor allowing them to grow a limited supply at home. Matt Anders is the president of the Suffolk University chapter of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, known as SU Normal. He says dispensaries will not affect crime rates in surrounding areas.
This is a medical clinic we're talking about. We're talking about people that are going to be prescribed by doctors, by physicians that this state trusts and certified to get in there. And they're saying that this is going to be rise the crime rate. And it doesn't really make any sense whatsoever.
The state is still waiting for the Department of Public Health to release regulations.
Expect new improvements to an old device, the fire alarm box. There are 2,200 of them in Boston, even a few on Suffolk's campus, but they rarely get put to use. The city is searching for private vendors with ideas on how to modernize these bright red boxes. One suggestion is adding phone charging capabilities. Now imagine how useful that will be. Vendors with ideas are urged to request for information by February 22nd on the city's website at cityofboston.gov. Again, that's cityofboston.gov.
Panera Bread is taking a leap of faith and letting its customers decide how much they want to pay for their food. The new nonprofit Panera Cares Community Cafe just opened near Government Center in Boston.
As Suffolk U News reporter Anush Albakian shows us that this cafe, it's all about donations.
When you walk into the new Panera Cares Cafe, it looks like any other Panera Bread restaurant, but after you order, you will face the question, what should I pay? There are no fixed prices, just suggested donations, and instead of the registers, cash goes in a bin.
This is a city where 1 in 9 people are considered food insecure. There's a need for something like this. That said, we're not meant to be a permanent solution for anybody. We're not a soup kitchen. This is really meant to be a temporary solution.
A community cafe of shared responsibility. That is how Panera Bread Company describes this program. And one of the goals is to ensure that everyone who needs a meal gets one.
You know, it's providing a space and a venue for people to actually talk about food insecurity and poverty and understand more about it, and then also to build community.
Project manager Kate Antonacci says the vision for the Panera Cares Cafe is to use Panera's unique restaurant skills to make a direct impact in communities.
We wanted to create a place that really restored dignity, that uplifted people. It's a different experience than you would have in a soup kitchen.
Panera has limited its customers to 1 free meal a week, but they're always welcome to come in and pick up bread and pastries. Anush Albakian, Suffolk News.
Those unable to pay for the meals can also volunteer at the cafe to clean up for 1 hour in exchange for a meal.
The Suffolk Rams hockey team was tied with the Salve Regina Seahawks for the #2 playoff spot.
The teams faced off Saturday, February 2nd, and reporter Olivia Meisner was there to see the action. Coming up next, she'll give us the full scoop on Suffolk sports.
Are we clear?
Get less than a minute. Let's go. All right, we're up.
Okay. All right.
So Jared,
just
say
to
welcome
clarify,
back.
coming
G
straight
morning,
up on
sunshine.
two. I'm gonna say.
Wakey, wakey. Text me.
I think it might be one of the
Are your parents home later? We can hang.
LUV love you. JK.
Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Boston athletes have joined forces with the Sports Museum to help stop bullying in Boston.
Bullying is not a game, it's a serious problem.
If you are being bullied, you are not alone.
If you're being a bully, you can't play on my team.
If you're being a bully, stop.
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 Right now.
Stand strong against bullying.
Together, we can stop bullying in Boston. To join our team, visit bostonversusbullies.org.
Boston versus bullies.
Boston versus bullies.
Boston versus bullies. Whose team are you on?
Welcome back, and thank you for watching Suffolk U News.
It's been a busy week here for Suffolk sports, and definitely a busy week for you, Olivia, covering it all.
Absolutely. It's been a very busy week for the Rams. We start off our Suffolk U News sports coverage today with a big year full of big milestone moments for Suffolk University basketball. The men's and the women's teams are led by record-setting performers who hope to finish the year strong. We pass it off to Suffolk U News reporter Hannah Lilly, who has been on this memorable season.
The clock is ticking on a milestone year for Suffolk University's women's and men's basketball teams. Women's coach Ed Leiden is in his 19th season. In late January, he got his 300th career win. He gives most of the credit for his success to the players.
The big number isn't 300. We have 17 kids on the team. Everybody each year tries to do 1/17th, and we all own the 300 wins.
One reason for Leiden's success is his ability to recruit players like Jackie Minot. Jackie takes pride in setting up her teammates. Earlier this season, she scored her 1,000th career point and set the school record for assists.
Every summer, I dedicate my whole summer to working on one thing and making one thing better about my game, and I can only say that that's really the type of player that I am because of my hard work's paid off in the end.
The men are also having a big year as number 5 Chris Torres, number 20 Colin Halpin, and number 12 Matt Pepjonovich have all scored 1,000 career points. Matt also set the conference record for career blocks.
That's something that I can say I hold it, and no, I'm looking down at everyone. I'm not looking up to anyone. So. And that's something I do. That's part of my game. I'm a real good shot blocker, so I'd like to just set the tone through that, through my defense, and then my offense always comes.
Both teams will continue to shoot for a conference championship, hoping to keep hitting nothing but net. Hannah Lilly, Suffolk U News.
The conference playoffs begin shortly after the regular season ends on February 16th. Saturday afternoon, Suffolk hockey faced off against Salve Regina at Storetti Rink in an important game for playoff positioning. Both teams are tied with the same overall record and are hanging on to the last 2 playoff spots in the ECAC conference. With a scoreless first period, tough defense and stellar goaltending were the themes to this game. After Salve scored in the second period, Suffolk responded just 52 seconds into the third with a goal from freshman center Mike Cherpak. In a game dominated by goaltending, Suffolk goalie Brett Roman shined, stopping 32 of the 33 Salve shots on goal. Both teams had their chance when the game went to overtime, but it ended in a 1-1 tie, leaving both teams right where they began the day. The Rams will drop the puck against the Wentworth Institute of Technology in another conference matchup on Saturday, February 9th. Suffolk U News has learned that Suffolk University Athletic Director James Nelson will be retiring at the end of the academic year. Nelson originally came to Suffolk in 1967 as assistant athletic director, and just 9 years later he moved on to be the head of the athletic department. Nelson is affectionately known by the Suffolk community as Coach and has been with the university for 46 years. Nelson has confirmed it's true that he's retiring, but he declined to speak on camera until a formal announcement is made by the university.
So Olivia, I know a lot of sports are playing this weekend. Let us know what sports are playing.
Absolutely. You can catch the women's basketball team, the men's basketball team, along with men's hockey all Saturday, February 9th.
Thank you, Olivia. Hopefully we'll all get the chance to catch a game.
Thanks.
Still trying to figure out what you want to do for Valentine's Day?
Then stay with us on our Suffolk Scene reporter, Michelle Leonardo. She will be bringing us Boston's best deals and steals on restaurants and inns for Cupid's Holiday.
Okay, everyone, we have a lot to cover this morning. Tim should be here any second with the latest budget numbers to take us through the initial schedule for production and...
Ow. This is one way to avoid getting the H1N1 flu virus.
Oh, whoopsie daisy. All right, good morning. Let's get this meeting started.
For some better ways, visit flu.gov.
Anyone have a tissue?
The magical thing about using energy wisely is that anyone can do it. Turn off lights. Use energy-saving light bulbs. And turn off computers and game systems when not in use. Make a change and we can really fly. Grab a grown-up and go online to energy.gov/kids.
February is usually the last month that we stay hibernating in our homes. The chilly temperatures make going out seem more like a chore than a good time.
But don't let the weather keep you indoors, especially with a big holiday on the horizon. Our Suffolk Scene reporter, Michelle Leonardo, has more with us live in the studio on the Suffolk Scene. Michelle?
Thank you, Jared and Tiffany. The Super Bowl of romance is only a week away, Valentine's Day. If you're strapped for cash this month and still want to do something special for your loved one, then we have some great deals on restaurants and hotels for you. The globally inspired restaurant Aura in the Seaport District is featuring a 3-course meal that costs $100 per couple. Bella Luna in Jamaica Plain is hosting a Barry White inspired dinner, which costs $76 per couple and includes a 3-course meal, 3 cocktails, and lots of dancing. If you don't want to finish the night at the restaurant, then check out any of these fantastic inns and hotels. You can spend a cozy night in by the fireplace at Ashley Manor in Barnstable, experience the Let Me Call You Sweetie package at the Hearthstone Inn in Camden, Maine, or take in views of a winter wonderland at Mountaintop Resort in Chittenden, Vermont. Valentine's Day can be stressful, but with a little research and planning, you can make a night your special someone will never forget. This Thursday through Sunday, the Suffolk University Theater Department will be presenting the Spring Showcase. The showcase is comprised of 4 student written and directed plays. This opportunity allows students to display their creativity and cast their own play so their vision can come alive on stage. Suffolk University senior Adam Santinello wrote and directed River, a play about 2 sisters waiting by a river to christen a newborn child.
Really inspired by sort of imagery and non-realistic sort of points of view, and then grounding them. So I think when I tried to write this story, I tried to give it a human side in a very sort of absurd world.
The event is being held in the Donahue Building Studio Theater. Tickets for the event are free and open to the public and can be purchased at vendini.com. Again, for tickets, go to vendini.com. 150 new jobs were added to the U.S. economy last month, making the unemployment rate 7.9. If you are in that percentage and still looking for work, then make sure you head to the job fairs that are going to be held in the city in the next 2 weeks. The first will be held on Tuesday, February 12th at the Boston Sheraton Hotel. You must pre-register for the event. You can do so at premiumjobfairs.com. The second fair is being held on February 19th at the Park Plaza Hotel. According to the website, there will be dozens of top local employers who will be hiring for hundreds of positions. If you have never attended a job fair before, make sure you find out what companies will be there prior to attending so you can prepare yourself ahead of time. Make sure to research their websites to see what positions they are hiring for. Also, remember to dress professionally. Ditch the sweatpants and opt for your best fit suit or dress. And don't forget to send out thank you notes using the business cards you collect at the fair to show how serious you are about the job. Each year, more than 12,000 women compete for this, a Miss America local crown. It's the one thing that guarantees them a ticket to the Miss America pageant. Well, this weekend, the 2013 Miss Boston pageant is being held at the Park Plaza Hotel. And girls are going to strut, they're going to sing, dance, and I hear one girl's even going to belly dance their way into the judges' hearts. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely going to be there, and next week we're going to bring all the footage from the glamorous event to people at home. But I think that, Jared, if you were at the pageant, that there'd be no competition. What do you think, Tiffany?
I definitely think so. I think you'd be a really pretty beauty queen.
Personally, I feel like the other contestants may be much more qualified and a lot better looking than I am.
Well, what would your talent be?
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
Thank you.
That does it for this edition of Suffolk U News, the weekly news program brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism at Suffolk University. I'm Jared Pelletier.
And I'm Tiffany Chan. Thank you for watching us here on the Boston Neighborhood Network.
Be sure to continue to watch for Suffolk U News, bringing you more from the school with a heart in the heart of the city.
Goodbye.